last time I was out here by the sea and made a video, I said that men in general don't find modern women very attractive. I said it has to do with the obesity epidemic. It has to do with a certain self-entitled attitude that many modern women seem to have these days. It has to do with, you know, the crazy looks with the blue hair and the piercings and all that. After having uploaded that video, I took out my little notebook because I knew I would be shamed in the comment section. I call it man-shaming, and that's what this video is going to be about. Man-shaming is when you shame men basically for being men. So if a man is single, if a man has chosen to be single, he will be shamed for that. And people will say, and typically women will say that, oh, it must be because he can't get any women. He's a loser. He's living in his mother's basement and he's a loser who can't get women. If a man is in a relationship, he will likely sometimes or oftentimes be shamed for basically everything. And he will be shamed for being controlling. He will be called a narcissist. By the way, it's amazing how many qualified psychologists are out there on social media. It's amazing. If a man is single, but you know, he's still active on the, should I call it, dating market, he will be shamed for being, well, promiscuous. No matter what you do as a man, you will be shamed. Your life choices will be questioned and people will try to drag you down. It's a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. No matter what you do as a man, your choices will be questioned and you will be shamed. Now, I'm not saying that everyone out there, and that I'm not saying every woman out there is like that, but it is very common. It is a weapon used against men. Now, you could say that it's used against women as well, but I am now talking here as a man from a man's perspective. And there are millions of videos and books and movies and all of that kind of crap out there seen from a woman's perspective. So let's talk about this from a man's perspective for once. You will be shamed. You will be questioned. You will be tested. And what I believe is that a lot of this attitude coming from women is, well, you know, it goes back to almost to when we were on all fours or up in the trees, you know, basically. It's an instinct. That's what I'm trying to say. Women will test men. Now, I have said before here on my channel that what men want first and foremost is peace. And men will settle in a relationship if they can find peace there. But if the woman in the relationship constantly keep testing the man, there will be no peace. And we see that a lot these days. And it's worse now than ever, I believe. Women seem to be almost programmed to be discontent with their man. The single man is the kind of man who is most often shamed by society. And I think it's even biblical. You can go back to ancient times, but now we see that women, they will shame the single man, and it's a horrible thing to see. It's a horrible thing to watch, because it does create depression, anxiety, and it makes life difficult for these men when their life choices are questioned, when they're seen as losers. They become bitter. It just needs to stop, and people need to understand that it is a choice that many men make. They want to be single. They do not want to be attached to anyone, and it has a lot to do with the climate that we are in now. It's not beneficial for men, not socially, not legally, and very often they choose to just opt out. And if that single man then decides that he doesn't want to be single anymore, but that, the climate here in the Western world is so negative that he decides to go Eastern Europe, Asia, well, he's certainly going to be shamed for that. In the comment section there under my infamous video, I was shamed a lot, and it's fine. I've been doing YouTube for a while. I've gotten used to it. It doesn't affect me, but it is interesting. In my case, I was shamed mostly for my appearance, and of course my beard. Yeah. So just in honor of you feminist women out there who think that it's horrible that I have this beard, I've grown it, especially the mustache, extra bushy for you people, for this video. Yeah, so apparently I'm also fat. I didn't know that. And ugly, and I'm not getting any, of course. But I need to add that I would say most comments from women were extremely positive, and they were writing that they have observed the same and they agree. And I've gotten so many messages from women who are thanking me for talking about this, because they see it as a problem as well. Wild apples, they're not ripe yet. It is the beginning of August, and it's beautiful out here. As I believe I said in my infamous video, we need to connect with nature. We need to get away from the screens and connect with nature and each other in the way that we are meant to. It's beautiful out here now. I don't know if you can hear them, but my friends are flying across the fjord, 2 ravens, and the weather is changing. I think we'll get some rain. These are the last days of summer here in Norway. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing. It would help the channel tremendously, and it would help get this message out there. I'm going to sit there for a couple of minutes, maybe more, just enjoy the silence, the peace and the quiet. And I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.